Good morning, everybody. Just a quick thought for the day. Things that I'm observing, things that I feel are necessary to share. At least they're a good reminder for myself, and hopefully you may get something out of this as well. I take a visionary spiritual view on what's going on in this time of crisis and this time of really great discomfort. Taking this sort of a view can offer another perspective that I think is very crucial, especially in affecting great long term change. Okay? So, one thing I'd like to say today is I think it's important now more than ever that you put aside your personal agenda, the thing that maybe you're worried the most about. Notice how very often your personal agenda is not everybody else's. Obviously, we all have different agendas and different narratives and different stories that bind us together or even separate us. And that's the point. I have no issue, when we're not in a state of crisis with you pushing a specific narrative, whether it be for your business, whether it be for health and wellness, whether it be for, look at me. I advocate a lot for the kidney disease community and, for organ transplantation. But right now, in this time in history, I feel that it's very important to put my personal needs, desires, and agendas to the side so I can advocate and really start to support humanity as a collective. And that's what I want to just have you guys consider today is if you're pushing a very personal agenda at this time in history when we need to unify and come together as a whole, it's going to look a little bit odd, maybe potentially selfish, maybe potentially arrogant, okay? I'm not saying that, all of you that are arrogant. What I'm saying and suggesting is this. Put aside your personal narrative in this moment, your specific story, your agenda, whatever you advocate or do in your life. Somehow put that aside and start to advocate and help the whole. Everybody's agenda, everybody's issues should be equally cared about and cared for. All right? There's no particular hierarchy in this circumstance. In times of crisis, we don't have a hierarchical order, right? Everybody deserves the same amount of care and concern. So right now, am I putting my work out there? Am I sharing messages? Yes, I am. But they all right now have to do with ways in which we can unify as a whole. I'm not all of a sudden kind of disconnecting and almost avoiding what's going on to just push my personal narrative, whether it be my business or even my own work in the world. I'm not talking about generalized things at this moment. I'm talking about very specific issues where we can come together as a whole. Okay, so when life is moving along in a more organic and comfortable way, go back to your personal agendas and the things that you strive for and fight for and are passionate about, right? But utilize this time as a means to take you as a person to share an offering that's going to help the whole, okay? If you don't, you're selecting a small group of individuals or people where you feel for some reason that they deserve hierarchy over the human race. And I just don't think, in my personal opinion and my perspective, that is the route that we are to take right now in this time of crisis. So put aside your personal agenda and discuss ways in which we can come together or ways in which you can utilize your gifts for the whole. So broaden your life view, broaden your personal agendas, broaden your narrative, broaden your story, broaden the ways in which you can help society collectively to unify, okay? Again, it's not time in the world for me to just push a CKD transplant narrative. Yes, are those people considered the vulnerable, and are those people considered immunocompromised? Yes, it is true. But because that's the case, and that's my personal and private experience and what I advocate for very often, that doesn't mean that I'm just going to keep my work contained to that. Do you see what I'm saying? This is about everybody. Nobody takes hierarchy over anybody else. Not financially, not physically, not spiritually, not anything. This is a time to recognize that we're all of equal worth and value. We're all worth saving. We're all worth helping. Okay? So broaden your views. Broaden the ways in which you put yourself out there. Think bigger. Don't just pigeonhole yourself into one thing that you feel as though you're used to doing. Broaden it. Think bigger. Think, how can I take what it is that I do now and affect more people and bring more positivity and inspiration to more people than just the specific people that I'm used to working with. And please, by all means, do not use this as an opportunity for any sort of personal or financial gain. Okay, I don't believe that's the time for this either. We're going to have a very big boost in the economy once we get through this difficult time. But right now, please be open to suspend your agenda to think more about the whole. Okay, and I don't want to use myself as a personal example, but I am myself, so I'm going to use this. I offer spiritual work, counseling, mentorship to people who need it. Right? I've been focusing a lot in the organ transplantation community over the last couple of years, but before that it was for the general public. And what I've done personally is I've offered and shared publicly that right now all of my work is pro bono. All of my work is free. If somebody needs something, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do it no matter what. Nobody gets turned away, okay? And obviously that's how you guys should be thinking as well, all right? Just do what we need to do to help each other. Do what's right. Just do what's right. And then the most important thing is to take this attitude and take some of these views that are broadening within your own soul and apply them even when this crisis we start to heal this issue, this enemy that we have working against us right now. Continue to apply principles of broadening yourself, looking at the whole, finding compassion for those maybe you didn't have compassion for before, seeing outside of yourself, seeing outside of your box, seeing outside of your narrative, seeing outside of your personal experience. Everybody's got a story, not just you. No one person deserves hierarchy or more care, attention, or love than anybody else. Okay? Think broader, think bigger, do what's right, do what's good, do what is true, follow your heart, and then remember this. You must remember these times and apply these values and principles of what is good and true when this passes, or we haven't learned a thing from this experience. Okay? So good to see you guys tonight. I'll be back soon. Bye.